First off, I've got to say, huge fan, you're the man.
Oh, thanks.
I was listening to Mark Schiller on ESPN radio the other day, and he was talking about how he did not want to take part in the ongoing concussion lawsuit, saying that he would feel like a hypocrite for putting his body through that, knowing that, and then being a part of the lawsuit. I just want to get your sentiment on the ongoing debate about player safety, especially since I know you're well involved with the NFL union.
Yeah. Well, I think the bottom line is this: is that there's a lot of guys that have left the game, especially guys that you would say played in the '60s, '70s, '80s, '90s, prior to the rules being the way that they are now, prior to the treatment being the way that it is now, prior to the benefits being the way that they are now, and many of them left the game, I think, in a much worse condition than guys are leaving the game now, especially if you played, had a long career. Certainly we understand the nature of our game, the violence, the fact that injury is a part of the game. But when it pertains to the head and neck, obviously you're talking about long-term quality of life. And I think that's what we're thinking about here is when guys leave this game, we want to make sure that they are taken care of as best we can, and certainly understand the effects of head and neck injuries throughout the course of while they're playing. Now, the way that the mentality will always be in the game of football is that when you're out there and when you're in the heat of the moment, heat of battle, you're not going to take yourself out. All right. So we can all sit here and say, well, he should have known he had a head injury. He should have known. But you know what, man? It's a mentality as a football player. It's this warrior mentality. You're not going to let the guys down next to you, so you're going to stay in. You're going to want to play. You're going to want to battle through, right? So what's been put in place now is the ability for independent neurological experts, as well as trainers on both staffs and others, officials even, to recognize when a guy has been dinged, a guy's been concussed, whatever it might be, and then make sure that they do not return to play until they are 100% healthy and able to do that. And I think where that differs from years ago is that, man, guys would just go right back in the game, so there's really no telling how many kind of repeat head type injuries that the guy would suffer, and obviously that's going to have long-term effects. So guys didn't know that back then. I mean, they felt like they could go out there and do that constantly, and that, man, they were doing it for the team. They were sacrificing. That's the way it was. I don't think they had any idea of what that was going to do to them down the line. So these guys do deserve to be taken care of. These guys do deserve the benefits that are going to allow them to live a decent quality of life. Now, I know in my role, with the union for the last 10 years, has been a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's about caring for former players, obviously taking care of current players, and then the guys that are going to come after us. So not only are we looking to the future, but we're always thinking about how we can reach back and help the guys that came before us and really pave the way for what we have now in the NFL.